Well, my name is John Perrine. I'm a Global Accounts Manager with Technology Source. I wanted to welcome everybody this morning. Good morning and good afternoon, depending upon where you are in the country. We're going to continue our discussion on thriving in the digital world, but I have the honor of introducing our speaker today, Sonia Moline. Sonia Moline is a dynamic leader with extensive business continuity planning experience. She holds a deep passion for sharing the tools for success with others and can be found volunteering in her local community or participating in a mentoring program for the National Nonprofit Alliance of Channel Women. Moline also founded an annual Techie Toy Drive, which collects and donates STEM toys directly to children in need. Previously, as a chief executive for a business cloud service firm, Effortless Office, and founder and partner in a compliance firm, Comply Pro, she joins Technology Source with a passion for business process improvement. Her IT career started when she was the IT director for several busy mid-sized healthcare companies, including Physicians Data Trust and Center for Sight. While at these firms, she implemented extensive pandemic planning measures. These include virtualizing infrastructure and eliminating physical hardware such as servers and computers to enable both on-site staff and remote workforce. Sonia comes to us with extensive compliance background as well, and we're so honored to have her today. We appreciate you leading the group today, Sonia, so please take it over.
All right, thanks, John. Thanks so much. Well, thank you everyone for joining. I highly commend anyone who takes time out of their busy day. I know, as I've said, it's a lot easier to be watching Netflix or kind of just hang out. For those of us that are, nose to the grindstone, still working, I commend you because it's a lot easier to do the opposite right now. And today we're really going to talk about that virtual world, that digital world that is now kind of the norm for us. Many of us have been here before and have used this, and for some people it's really new. Being on chat in virtual type environments is new. We'd like to kind of discuss that today. Really, this outbreak has made homebodies out of consumers, and as border restrictions and recommendations for social distancing continue to increase and staying home becomes everybody's world, online shopping, online education, working from home, these have all become what is our reality now. So today we want to talk about how we thrive with that new reality and talk about definitely some statistics so that we can kind of see where we've come from, and then we're not going to know exactly where we're going, but at least make some strong predictions there. I do want to welcome our panelists today. We have Laura Bella, our Director of Sales and Marketing at NetCarrier, and then Laura Gibbs, Regional Channel Manager West and the Sales Trainer for Vivial. Good morning, ladies.
Morning. Good morning.
Tell us where you are working from today.
I'm actually in our headquarters outside of Philadelphia, working in my office.
Okay. And you, Laura Gibbs?
I am in the Bay Area in California, and I live in a one-bedroom, and I'm working from my front closet that I've converted into an office.
Nice. That's great. Super smart. Well, we have this wonderful audience today of experts here to speak with us. And so it's not just a monologue. We want your questions, ideas, and comments. It helps us know what you would like to know about and what we can answer for you. We are Technology Source. We are a master agent serving individuals all across the world in 60 different countries. We have over 3,500 happy customers and over 200 technology advisors and partners. And some of the products and services that we offer for our customers, they're pretty vast. There's just so many. These are the elements of business success. And we have cybersecurity, business optimization, software, SaaS, connectivity, voice, communications, which we're going to talk about today, voice communications, connectivity, and then of course, digital marketing, getting your voice out there, and then mobility, and then cloud and infrastructure. So these are some of our elements of success. At Technology Source, we have a wider range of events that we put on for our partners and also for our customers. A lot of them, as you see, canceled, but we have taken hold of this virtual space to put on a lot of different virtual roundtables. And so today you're here with Vivial and NetCarrier. Next week we will have a cybersecurity in the work from home world, and that will be another one that you'll want to stay tuned for. And then last but not least, for our partners and advisors, we do have a virtual happy hour coming up on Thursday. So we've never done that before. We'll see how that goes. And we do have some fun giveaways for that. So for our customers, though, we wanted to talk about the consumer response that's out there right now. And that really comes down to 6 phases that have been identified by Nielsen. And I really identified with these phases because they kind of just feel like what's going on right now. A lot of times it's the most simple things that are the most true, right? So proactive health-minded buying was phase 1. We kind of heard about this and consumers were out buying proactive things. And then came health management in a reactive way, managing their health, and then consumers prepping the pantry, right? And then also quarantine living preparation. That's when you saw this huge buy of toilet paper and things like that. So we've all been through these phases, and I think we're probably still in phases 4 and 5. I think 5 is kind of where we're at right now, which would be restricted living preparation, not being able to travel due to border shutdowns and things like that. And then level 6 or phase 6 would be living the new normal. Some people don't like the word the new normal, but living in this new reality, whatever you want to call it. I think that is the phase that we're seeing some of maybe China and places that have released the restricted living. And so speaking of China, that's a really good place to look at how are those consumers responding now? And so 80%, a recent survey said that they're still fearful of getting COVID-19. So that's definitely going to change the way that those people consume. And so we want to talk about also other things that people are consuming. Business apps. In mid-March, there were 62 million downloads. It's up like 80%. So these business applications are getting consumed more than ever. And so what that allows us to do is have this virtual space to communicate. And it also means that these companies who make these apps are doing well. This is some stuff that I got from SHRM. For those of you who aren't familiar, they're a human resources type of organization, very, very well known in the United States. Almost 2/3 of employers did have an emergency prep plan for the COVID-19 pandemic, but they didn't have anything that covered communicable diseases. So they had their DR plan, they had their emergency plans in place, but half of them didn't cover communicable diseases. So that's a concern, right? So right now, those organizations are having to figure out what to do. Now, over 53% of employers are revising their plans. And so if you look at organizations that are revising their plans, 62% of them are in healthcare, 59% in manufacturing, and then 53% of wholesale, trade, and transport organizations. So that's a big amount of people that are revising their plans. So one of the things I'm thinking of right now is how can we be of help to those people that are revising their plans, right? Are there things that we can help with their planning? More than 1/3 of employers are facing challenges with maintaining their company culture. I mean, how do you do that in a virtual environment, right? That presents new challenges. Managing employees who are unable to telework. So that's 1/3 of employees. They can't telework. They don't have the products in place. And so we'll talk about some products today that could possibly help that. Shifting communications to remote needs. How do we communicate with our remote staff? And then the time required to implement and stay compliant with government leave requirements. They're having challenges with that. And then 3 out of 10 are having trouble with the leave request. So more and more staff need to go on leave for whatever reason, and it's causing trouble for businesses. So this statistic here is nearly half of employers with over 500 employees have shut down aspects. How can we thrive in this new world where all of this other stuff is happening? Well, this is how some of the organizations are doing it. 4 in 10 employers have shut down certain aspects of their business. I mean, and you can see 82% of food and service organizations have shut down aspects. So that's a huge amount. And I look at this as like value proposition. If your value proposition was to have this intimate setting with candlelit dinner and those types of things, it's not going to work anymore, not right now, right? And so this is the time to consider those value propositions. 83% of employers have made business practice adjustments as a result of COVID-19. I'm guessing it's a lot more than 83%. There's some businesses that are exactly the same, but there's so much different day-to-day going on for every organization that I've seen. And this is something that I'm a huge fan of, the Business Model Canvas. It's a book, actually, and this is just a page taken out of the book because it's the main principle of the whole book. But as you can see, you've got your value proposition, and then you've got your customer relationships, and you've got your customers. So your value delivery channels here are going to possibly change right now. And so what they'll do is kind of consider those value propositions with you and how they can change. And maybe they'll become a key partner, or maybe someone else on our team could become a key partner. So this is a really great book if you want to read it. It's very visual. I love visual things. And if you want, just reach out to me. I can get you this and all the SHRM research that we just went over. I'm happy to send that over. I wanted to just take an imagination break here and imagine for a moment that COVID-19 had happened and it was the year 2000. So what would be different, right? We wouldn't have internet speeds. A lot of people wouldn't have internet in general, right? We wouldn't have high speeds of internet that we can use to access cloud products. What about cloud products, right? Would they be available? What about virtual phone systems and digital marketing and search engine optimization? I mean, there was some of this stuff, but it just wasn't quite there yet. And this virtual world, this digital world that we are all taking a part in would have been completely different. So I'm not saying that it's great that it happened in 2020, but I am just pointing out that there is a lot of tools now available for us that would not have been available. And I want to close this out with just how to reach out to us, right? So this is the step-by-step process. In just 10 seconds, you start with a strategic conversation with one of our advisors. And then the next thing we're going to do from there is work with you to get expert recommendations and these warm introductions to these amazing women here and the people on their team who work with you side by side. And then you'll purchase directly from the providers, and they source those solutions for you and provide those for you. And then we do it all over again for every other service that you need when it comes to technology. So that's just our easy process. And next week, we will be going over a lot of cybersecurity stuff, so join us for that. And my name is Sonia Moline, Vice President here at Technology Source. And with that, I'll close us out. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I know there was a few questions we couldn't get to today, but if you want to, just please do reach out to me. My email's right there. And if you want that research or anything else, and if you're interested in any of the things that we talked about today, we're happy to continue this conversation.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Thanks.
Have a great rest of
Thank
your
you, everyone.
day. Thank
Awesome
you.
job. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Join us every Tuesday from now till May at 10 a.m. Pacific Time for the Technology Source Virtual Roundtable Series.